Cane Bay Plantation. Well, today it's kind of smoky because there's a fire over here and you're about to see airplanes coming hither and yon to take out the fire. But normally it's not like this. I'm about to tell you why Cane Bay Plantation needs to be one of the top places that you look at when you are considering moving to the Charleston, Summerville area. So #4 master plan community in the United States. What? They used to grow things here. I don't know what it was, but now they're growing community. It is an amazing place that when you consider moving to Charleston, Summerville area, you want to consider Cane Bay. We're about to tell you why. Stay tuned. Excuse me, sir. How long have you lived here?
Couple of years.
From where did you move?
I'm actually from Nexon.
Oh,
I moved from Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah.
What brought you here?
My sister's husband was in the Navy, and they were stationed here for a few years, and they stayed because they liked the culture and the climate. And we'd come visit, so I just moved over here.
Good job. You like it?
Yeah, it's good.
You're not going to go back to Oregon?
Probably not. A lot of rain, a lot of homeless people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of drugs.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's probably why we left.
You guys live in Cane Bay?
Yeah.
How long have you lived here?
3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where'd you move from?
From West Ashley.
Usually everybody goes that way.
I know.
You like it?
Oh, yeah.
So side story, when we bought here in 2022, we were driven to what is now our lot, and it was just straight dirt. And the road that we took there was like nothing. And we said, well, there's going to be a community here. And the sales associate said, trust us. Well, here we are 3 years later, it's 2025, and they are still building in Cane Bay. Now, that comes with a caveat. They're still building in Cane Bay. So there's going to be road construction. Sometimes there's going to be road blockages that might be open one day and closed another while they're getting it sorted for the new neighborhoods. There are going to be about 5,000 more homes. There's going to be more shopping. There's going to be another grocery store. So it's a great investment, which I'm here to tell you, we invested here. We weren't sure if we were going to retire here or not, or semi-retire, because we're clearly still working as realtors, but we weren't sure what that looked like. But we knew we wanted to get in on the growth. And if that's something you're interested in, feel free to reach out. We had our realtor eyes on it. So we were like, oh yeah, let's go ahead and invest there, even though we had the different tax situation because it was an investment property. That's for another video. But it is something that if it's, something that you are thinking, maybe I just want to invest in Cane Bay. They're bringing in 5,000 more homes and people are moving. It's the #1 place to move to in the Charleston area. Yeah, I'll put some money there. So we can help you with that as well. But if that's an investment opportunity for you, take advantage of it, and we would love to help you with that. We're going to call out the elephant in the room. So you will hear and we will talk about the amount of traffic from the freeway to Cane Bay. Now, in California, where we lived and where you might live, it was very quick from the freeway to our house. And it's just the way the communities work in California, I guess. I don't know. But since this is a fairly new development, it's 8 miles. 8 miles from our exit at Nexon to our home in Cane Bay. So pack your patience, because it's not just your home. It's not just our home. There's thousands of homes here in Cane Bay. So you will hear that that is something that is a frustration about living in Cane Bay is, oh, the traffic, oh, the traffic. Well, traffic doesn't care, and it's not going away. We're just trying to prepare you that, yes, it's going to take you probably a little longer if you're commuting, if you're going to downtown for the day, whatever it is, from the freeway to your home in Cane Bay, because you've got to get off on Nexon Parkway. Just prepare yourself. It's busy to get to Cane Bay, but once you're here, you're home. Now, if you're wanting to buy acreage, Cane Bay is not where we're going to be looking at. But if you want to have convenience to shopping, to your kids' school, your grandkids' school, GenX, probably grandkids more likely, or if you want to have, the access with your golf carts and the gym and your churches, there are so many things right here. It's almost like one of those master plan communities where they thought of everything and it's all right here. You don't ever have to leave, really. And we're so close to going to Charleston, going to historic Summerville, going to Monk's Corner. We're so centrally located. That's why it's such a hot ticket to buy in here and call this place home. So now let's break down some of the pro and the con of the Facebook groups that are going to be either helpful or a hindrance. So Dan gets all kinds of good information about if we need something done, if we got to, if there's a curb alert, which I'll let him explain the curb alerts to you. But we get some great intel on those Facebook groups. Now, on the flip side of that, you've got people saying, we're full, move out, don't come here, traffic, blah, blah, blah. So manage those according to your sensibility, but we have found them to be very, very helpful.
Now with Cane Bay Plantation, with so many houses and so many communities, there's a lot of people going in and out of the community. As Angel had mentioned before, there's a thing called curb alerts, which is if you're on Facebook and you want to follow these groups, there's a Cane Bay Plantations group. There's a, depending on your neighborhood, like if you're in the Coves, there's a Coves Facebook group, and they have these things called curb alerts. In California, they didn't have this, so it was new to me. But people, instead of selling stuff or throwing it away, they will say, curb alert, X, Y, and Z is on my side of my street. If you want it, come get it. And the race is on, man. If you get there first, you get all the pickings of what's there. As a matter of fact, I was able to get Angel a bike that probably cost anywhere from $100 to $200 for free. It's just kind of fun to see if you can make it to, then you learn the neighborhoods, right? Because it's like, I gotta map it. And then which track is it in? And how long is it gonna take me to get there? So curb alerts are fun. But really the garages are kind of the hubs for the homes in this area in the South. They do everything in the garages. They have get-togethers in the garages. For Halloween, they were giving candy out of the garages. When they were done with trick-or-treating, garage door gets closed. Nobody was knocking on anyone's door, which was weird to me, but that's how they do it. The garage is kind of the meetup space in these communities, which is really fun. You can take your golf cart, go over to your buddy's house, hang out in their garage. They've got a TV in there, a bar, anything you can think of. It's just a lot of fun. Great way to have community with your neighbors. And we are GenX Realtors in the LowCountry. If you need to get a hold of us, you can text, email, or call. Our number is 843-900-6869. And later in the video, I will be giving you your favorite segment, which is GenX Fun Fact. So stay tuned. Now, we were just at the intersection of Cane Bay Boulevard and State Road. You could see how busy it was compared to this. Now, what makes Cane Bay Plantation popular is the sense that you're in and around nature. We've got the trees, you can hear the birds singing. You've got waterways nearby that are they're retention ponds, but they're still beautiful. And we happen to be behind the YMCA, which is a 54,000 square foot facility. It's the largest YMCA in the LowCountry. So they've got 25-yard lap pool. They've got upstairs track around the basketball court. They've got weight rooms. You can take classes. Anything you can think of, it's here. Well, gosh, they even have a library at the YMCA. So when you're done working out, check out a copy of Moby Dick and hit the showers. And speaking of the YMCA, not only can you access it from your car, your bike, or your golf cart, but if you have kids, you don't have to worry about how they're going to stay busy during the summer because the YMCA sponsors soccer, volleyball, basketball, and they also host farmers markets. They have special events, like they have push-up contests, pull-up contests, which I want nothing to do with that. I mean, I might pay to watch, but I'm not gonna put $5 in to see if I win. I mean, come on. Now, with Cane Bay Plantation and there being over 20 different communities to choose from, you might be asking yourself, well, shoot, I don't know which one I'm supposed to live in. Well, let's say that you've got a dog. They've got communities that have spaces for like a dog run where they could interact with other animals and it's fenced in and they're protected. Or let's say that you have a boat and you're like, I don't want to have to go anywhere to use my boat. I just want to be home and pop in and cruise around my neighborhood. You can do that. This, for example, is the Coves. You can do that in the Coves. So whatever need you have for a place to live, we can help you fill in those check boxes to get you the perfect property that's going to meet all your needs. And we are the experts, so let us do the heavy lifting for you. Speaking of heavy lifting, you've heard about the astronauts that got rescued from space. You heard about Katy Perry and that unusual rocket that spent 11 minutes at the edge of space. GenX Fun Fact. What happened April 12th in 1981? Give up? Well, it was the first time that we used a reusable spaceship. It was called Columbia, and it was the first space shuttle flight. So pretty amazing, right? We've come a long way. Now we got towers that can catch a rocket and reuse the rocket itself with chopsticks. It's amazing. If you want to contact the GenX Realtors in LowCountry, you can call or text at 843-900-6869. Now, some things you'll need to get prepared for if you're moving to Cane Bay Plantation is, as you can see, there's a lot of construction, which means You might have roads closed. You're going to have, for example, when we moved into our house in July of last year, this road wasn't here. It was dirt and gravel, and it was not open. So the fact that we have this access point is definitely an advantage for us. Now, you'll also notice if you look down the street that there aren't any street lights. Now you think to yourself, well, maybe they're not done with the road yet. That's not it. They just don't believe in them. And I don't know if it's a South Carolina thing or what, but you'll be driving at night, and if there's no cars behind you, you look in the rearview mirror, it's like a black hole. Like you see nothing. Like if you were to turn your headlights off, you'd be in total blackness. So that is something you'll definitely have to get used to. Now you've also seen roundabouts, right? What I love about roundabouts is you don't have to wait at a traffic light. You're going, going, going. All the cars are moving. Nobody has to stop and wait. The disadvantage is you got to learn how to drive on a roundabout, and not everybody knows how to do it. They're like, I'm scared, or get out of my way. So you have to be prepared for learning how to drive in a circle without hitting anybody. That, my friends, is called defensive driving. Now, the one thing I'll tell you about Cane Bay Plantation, yes, it's close to grocery shopping. Yes, it's close to a gas station. However, it is far from other places that we like to go, like Lowe's or Home Depot. It's about a 20 to 25 minute drive. So if you need to do dry cleaning, if you need to drop off mail at the post office, if you need to go to a home improvement store, plan multiple stops when you're going to go out into the neighborhoods, because you don't want to waste all that gas driving 20, 30 minutes and then be like, shoot, I forgot X, Y, or Z. So have a plan to hit multiple spots so you're being efficient with your time. Fun fact, sometimes because of where our house is situated, it's actually more convenient for me to go to Monk's Corner than, I live in Summerville. You'd think go to Summerville to buy everything, but no. Monk's Corner is a 15-minute drive versus going to downtown Summerville, which could be 20 to 25 depending on traffic. If I go to Monk's Corner, they've got a Harbor Freight there. They've got a UPS store there. There's a big Walmart there. If you're a fan of Wendy's, Wendy's are not on every street corner, so if you want to go to Wendy's, go to Monk's Corner. Super convenient, and it's easy to get there. Speaking of Cane Bay Plantation, because it's growing so rapidly, there's stuff that has to catch up to the expansion, which namely one of them is cell service. You're going to have to find out, depending on who you're with, who works in your neighborhood, who doesn't work in your neighborhood. So be prepared that you might have to change providers. But with that being said, they are adding new cell sites as time goes by. So hopefully you'll be in a position where my carrier and my coverage will work where I plan to put down roots. Now there's two things you need to know about Cane Bay Plantation area and South Carolina in general. There's shade and there's humidity. And what does that do? That creates this green funk that grows on the shady parts of your property. Now, I've never had to power wash my house before, but here, add that to the list of things that you need to know if you're moving to Cane Bay Plantation, because the HOA will get you.
That's right.
So what do you think of Cane Bay so far? It's pretty great, right? Now you know why we chose to move here. And if we haven't mentioned it before, leave us a comment. Of course, we want you to hit the like button, because then that pushes it out to more Gen Xers that want to move to this area. And this is in Berkeley County. And I know we've mentioned it before, but I want to make sure we mention it again. The Berkeley County Blueprint is everything you're going to need when you move to this area. So that is in the description below. Feel free to go ahead and get that. It gets you like what the internet service is, where the DMV is, and just everything you're going to need to set up shop when you move here. Some of the things that we have learned work really well for us is the video camera on your doorbell. And now that's a blessing and a curse, because you know what's happening, and then you're always getting the notifications, but it helps you get the vibe of your community. And then also, we are your local experts. A call, a text, an email will get your process started for you to call Cane Bay Plantation home, just like we did. We want you to be our neighbor. We keep telling you that. It's a great place to live. We'll see you next week.